Which type of tattoo makes you cringe the most? I'm a tattoo artist. Had a regular come into the shop. He was an older swinger type and my coworker tattooed him. He got Pinocchio tattooed above his junk with his penis as the nose, and script that said /lie. Those creepy faces of babies, which looks like there's a little demon on your body. I was in line behind a guy who had a tattoo on his neck of two obese, naked cartoon women going at it, tongues hanging out, flying sweat drops, the works. Armpit pussies. The tattoo of a clown holding a gun smoking a joint on my leg. It. Thanks for all the love and awards, guys. Never thought my horrible tattoo from 9 years ago would blow up like this. And my sister did for a guy on his arm of a juice carton with a pussy on the side saying pussy juice at it : if I remember correctly it also had a droplet coming out the end of the straw. Nothing says /I single quote. Tattoos of brands. It's basically free advertising. At least email them what they would pay you if you advertise for them till you die. Famous people. I get it that you really are a fan of said famous person, but to permanently ink their face onto yourself is borderline crazy emo. Just saw a couple of days ago a writing on some dude, /Karna. Me reading these replies to see if any of my tattoos are on here *. Sayings, especially ones that span multiple limbs/areas. I was in the army with a guy from Texas that thought he was hard as woodpecker lips. And I don't know the exact English word, but in German it's called /ash. Lips on the neck. I get it, you're a gangster with an attitude problem and probably want to fight. Know a girl who tattooed her firstborn. And a lady come into the store I was working in with a big neck tattoo that said daddy. Barbed wire around the arm that doesn't even go all the way because it hurt too bad. A defendant in the courtroom I clerked in during law school had hyper-realistic porn star facial tattoos. Yes, you read that correctly, this is actually a thing. I just can't imagine getting that permanently put on your body for display. Here are a couple of examples. In SFW right / link. In SFW right / link. Any tattoos like that stupid cliche thing that says /life one way and /death the other. I once stood in line behind a lady who had, the bad tattoo parade going from the nape of her neck. She had /only. All tattoos like portraits or names, mostly when they proudly tell you it. In SFW tattoos, like it's cool that you really love your girlfriend's vagina, or that you want to showcase the gain or moose imaginary dog you have, but the rest of us don't. One time I saw a lower back tattoo that was ~, the Target logo ~, a bullseye, and it really solidified for me why those are called tramp stamps. Thank you to those reminding me that the tattoo tone on this gently laddie's back was in fact *, a bullseye *, and not the Target logo, which is in fact *, a bullseye *. A misspelled tattoo. A purposely misspelled tattoo makes sense, I meant ones that were by accident. Thanks for the award Knew of a guy once who had the swastika. Where the person gets a tattoo of someone using either their real nipple or belly button to replace the tattoo of a person's nipple or belly button, e.g. Buddha with real belly button. She ISF *CKing gross, don't get one. Tattoos that are gifts from you to someone else. For example memes. The thought that a lot of people have dead memes from 2017 in their arms or legs is kinda funny. I actually plan on getting a biohazard symbol as a tattoo. Some people have said /EU. Chinese writing when they have no cultural connection to it and got it just because it names of significant others. A tattoo with something in Chinese or Japanese written on it. I am learning Japanese cause why not, and I saw this dude with a tattoo saying sakana, fish. I was like, hey, what does that mean? And he said poison. He may have typed poisson into Google Translate lol. Baby faces. You have a child, I get it, you love him. But he will be a generic newborn for a few months, and you will think fondly ever after about his grown-up version, with specific facial features. His baby picture will mean very little after a while. /I. What you want tattooed on your body. I do however hate seeing shisty working. Poor line work, muddy colors, incoherent shading, disproportionate shaping, etc. Former tattoo artist here, and it has to be infinity symbols, especially when they want them to be bad portraits, misspellings. Be happy, be free, live, laugh, stay positive, babe. I got Pokemon tattoos, so I'm not judging anyone. Edit, here's some pics. Link. Freaking wings. Where you think now? Once I saw a dude in a gym who had an elephant tattooed in his crow's nest. Guess what was the trunk ? $P. I was in the supermarket today and saw a man with a full body Harley Quinn tattoo on his arm. The Margot Robbie movie one. Literally anyone that has too small tattoos and is constantly posting about how discriminated against people with tattoos are and how pathetic all the Koreans of the world are for being offended by tattoos. Like, calm down, Becky, no one has ever said anything actually rude to you about your 3-inch /face tattoo written in such swirly cursive that it could be a roller coaster at /my. Some vague inspirational quote that in all likelihood the tattooee didn't even choose before they went to the tattoo parlor, but rather selected from a pre-chosen list written up by the parlor. Those little mustaches on the pointer finger. The rebel flag. Where it? Godsmack son. Anything imagine that incorporates bodily hair. Any tattoos of genitals or an anus makes me cringe. I have a tramp stamp that says me. I feel bad when I see people my age that got those barbed wire tattoos. Literally everyone had them, so they all looked the same. Tramp stamps were pretty bad too, at least the barbed wire did look kind of cool. I've never seen a tramp stamp that I liked. Lame calligraphy of the Pinterest type. The people who put words from a language they don't understand cause it's quirky and 99% of the time it isn't proofread so it doesn't say what they think it does. Post Malone. A crush of mine got a tattoo of Hank Williams on her breast. Totally killed my interest in her law. Imagine being in the middle of coitus and seeing an old dude in cowboy hat staring at you while she demands you go harder. No sir, I'm out. Tattoo artist here, tribal died in the 90s. Well, there's a story of a cringe tattoo that I almost got, but am so damn glad that I didn't. When I was 16 I was a very different person than I am at 28. I wanted to get a tattoo and my mom said I could if I paid for it. Me being the 16-year-old Bible belter surrounded by rednecks that I wanted a big cross filled in with an American flag on my arm. I'm now an atheist who doesn't care about patriotism at all and cannot be happier that my ash didn't have the money at the time. Moral of the story: if you're going to get a tattoo before you're 20, I advise getting something simple and non-controversial, because you never know where your life is going to take you and tattoos are permanent. Southern Cross stars. For Aussies who think the stars are only visible from our country. The pair of red lips tattoo makes me cringe. When I was getting one of my tattoos some gangster came in asking for a price on a pair of lips. After he walked out the tattoo artist went laughing about how stupid that tattoo is. Last name across the back. Like who needs that? Nothing screams white trash more than a Looney Tunes tattoo. I do enjoy Lieutenant, don't get me wrong. However, Tweety or Tasmanian Devil are of utmost cringe tattooed. Tattoos are the only kind of tattoo I really openly don't like. Any other tattoo is the person's choice and as long as it's not super offensive it's not my problem. If they like it then fine. White dude bros with Polynesian tats. I worked with a native Hawaiian guy and he said of all the racist things people take or portray from Hawaii the stealing of Polynesian tattoos pissed him off the most. The purpose of Polynesian tattoos is that every symbol within the tattoo means something specific and signifies growth as you grow as a person. And the main problem we had with these dude bros is that when asked about their tattoos and what they mean all they could say was /nothing. I ran into a guy who had tattoo of a rooster on a noose, on his calf. When asked what it represented he simply said /I. Shit art. By which I mean, like fandom shipping. Years ago I saw a tattoo on someone's leg like John and Sherlock from BBC Sherlock and it still haunts me to this day. More recently, saw a tattoo of Scylla's from Dragon Age. It's just youth. I feel like tattoos of people's faces will always be cringe, but having those faces being of fictional characters you wish were freaking really makes me wanna implode. Pretty much anything on the face. I love tattoos. I dream of being nearly covered in them one day, but face tattoos very rarely look any better than awful. Those expressing extremist political views. Goes. People with tattoos are diligently scrolling to see if their tattoo is mentioned. Lines. Freaking lines. Nothing screams douchebag louder than a big ash line on your chest. I saw a kid with the 100 emoji tattooed on his forearm. I don't even have a joke to make about that. ILO. Belly button face. Infinity symbols. None in particular, but these tattoos I see on a particular brand of hipster that look like babe. This thread made me feel better about myself and my life decisions. Thanks Reddit. Bible tattoos on suburbanites. Friend of mine got a one-night stand's name tattooed on her foot while her fiancé was in prison, so that's wrong on at least 3 different levels, but basically anything with the name of an S/O immediately makes me think / single quote S. My friend got one of some Viking symbol on his chest. Mind you, he was like fully Filipino with no relation to Scandinavia at all. We all told him it was cringe AF. He passed away a few months later in a cliff jumping accident, and a few of us got tattoos in his honor. I got the same stupid Viking tattoo on my chest now. No regrets though. Ribbons on the back and the legs. Ugh. It. Dreamcatcher on the chest. Nautical stars. And a flower that turns into a flock of birds. All of these are dangerous signs. Specifically the first 2 tattoos that are spelled wrong. And yes, spelled and spelled are both correct. I know what you're like, Reddit. Bad but old tats. It's not the type of tattoo, it's where it goes that makes me cringe. I often see people who are really young getting tattoos in some very peculiar places for somebody who has no idea what they want to do in their life. Because I'm not that concerned with what other people do to their bodies and how they choose to express themselves. Probably a tie between anything homemade by Rookie with a tattoo gun bought off Amazon and marijuana leaf /420 tattoos. I have nothing against weed, but don't bitch about your life constantly and wonder why you can't get better than a kitchen job when you have a homemade pod leaf tattoo covering the majority of your arm, wrist to elbow. Something that makes a statement about yourself now, but won't later. Like if I were to get a tattoo of Thomas the Tank Engine on my chest as opposed to me being a longtime Transformers fan and putting an Autobo and Decepticon symbol on either shoulder. I might do that when I get tattoos. Not Thomas though. Tribals. I saw a tattoo on some guy's leg yesterday. It was a Confederate flag with /Southern. Face tattoos of any kind. Ooh, I'm a tattoo artist, so this ought to be fun. Anyone who reads this should take it as a /this. Big Bible quotes on girls. I have a few that make me cringe. 1. Angel wings on the back. 2. Asian symbols on non-Asian people, Lord knows what it actually says. 3. The /SHHH / on the index finger. 4. / only. My girlfriend used to get her hair cut by a guy who had a big mural on his back, showing Jesus Christ on a cross freaking a zombie. That's a pretty weird one. A 69 right on your face. Any trendy tattoo, barbed wire for guys, tribal tramp stamps for girls, etc. I don't. Stuff like / never. A tattoo of someone else's face doesn't matter whether this person is your parent, your sibling, your spouse, your child, your favorite porn star, or your drug dealer. Even worse if this person is a victim of your abuse, right / left parenthesis link. Joker tattoos. Yow. I hooked up with woman who has a tramp stamp which reads B. A feather butted. Neck tattoos. The official tattoo of Mug's Hodes. I saw this guy with like an SS tattoo, but it was like the cool middle school thingies like on the back of his neck. And also the Monster Energy logo with a Confederate flag in it. Ugly as she is a motto. Names that are not children or dead family members. Anything copied. There is a difference between flash and copies, and also a difference between inspiration and stealing. Single me will work. They will always tell you it feels fine, but it will either be a blob or disappear in 10 years. Face tattoos. They really cover the beauty of a face. I mean, okay, get a tattoo that is tribal on the armband or worse, barbed wire law. Infinity sign made with birds for girls or douchey tribal tattoos for dudes. People writing each other. Anything on the inner lip. Not easy of the pain, but just the thought of the taste of ink and blood when healing, along with how hard it would be to keep it from getting infected. I have the person's own last name. I have a sibling with our last name tattooed across their back. Why? B// left parenthesis BB. Honestly, people can get what they want. It's bad tattoos that make me cringe hard. Disclaimer that I'm not a tattooer, and I have no tattoos, mainly because I'm so picky. I know that unless it was perfection I don't want it and probably cannot afford it. I know this means the gatekeepers instantly toss my opinion. However, I love tattooing as an art form, and fascinated by tattoo designs and rules, and really enjoy looking at / reading about good ink and artists. Even so, as a layperson I can say even as an artist that seeing bad line work, horrible designs, and bad placement just make my skin crawl. Nothing is worse than when a friend wants to show off their new tattoo, pull up their sleeve, and it's freaking jackhammered into their flesh like it was done with an ice pick, had blowouts everywhere, is colored poorly or not filled in all the way, is a Shiai's design, breaks design rules, don't get Japanese style ink, ever, unless it is done by an absolute expert, fits their body awkwardly, etc. 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 Doctor, bad tattoos are bad. Tattoo machines should be heavily regulated to prevent tattoo crimes. Misspelled texts, especially when they're in a language the tattooed person doesn't speak. 17.4k comments in but still gonna add this. Disney tattoos are the most cringe of all tattoos. Alvin from Calvin and Hobbes peeing on stuff. Except the one from Hot Rod with one stream of urine going on the TV set and one going on the FM radio with an N radio safely dry in the middle on a magic carpet. Basically all of them. When people post shisty ones on Facebook and everyone is saying it's awesome, that's what makes me cringe. B. Ones with their partner's name. Ox if there's a breakup too. The so-called B. A picture of Mixon on your back. Both of mine. Dumb B. Any tattoo makes me cringe. Tramp stamps for sure. Any tattoo. It's your body and your choice, so you do you, but to me it just screams /I. Advertisement. Let me clarify. Bands, art, is okay. Personally wouldn't do it but I get it. High fashion brands, there it gets tricky, but still I am okay. Cars, sportwear : that already gets a bit weird and materialistic, so already cringe for me. Food, McDonald's, Coca-Cola, etc. This just screams to me you're an idiot that is so brainwashed by advertising and have no clue about life. Camel on the big toe. Nazi and Confederate stuff. Edit, just to be clear, both the Nazis and Confederate causes were abominable in their own time, but those who advocate them today are just such desperate, pathetic losers. Get your freaking lives together. People with Japanese tattoos who can. Not necessarily the tattoos, but more so the people who suddenly become art critics whenever the topic is brought up. Online tattoos ... especially if it's the shistiest online ever or it's just something short ... nothing screams /I. Muppet babies. Most of you have some serious insecurity issues with how harshly you judge what other people do with their lives. Seriously, it's unhealthy. Get help. All of them. No tattoo for me. If there's one thing that this thread solidified in my mind, it's that Reddit takes tattoos too seriously. None. Let them do have what they want, none of their business. Id. Faces. I can handle just about anything, but not the tattoo of a face on someone. I'm even cool with like demon heads or helmets, but a realistic human face with eyes staring at you. Grotty. I worked with a girl who called in sick. The next day she came in with /right. Name tattoos. Celtic tramp stamps, also known as ash antlers. Tattoos make me cringe in general. I've never seen a tattoo and thought /o. Anything in Chinese characters. Vague. None. It's their body and their decisions. Let them be. Nothing. It's their body and their choice. Just because I wouldn't get it doesn't mean it isn't meaningful to them or doesn't bring them happiness. My one got my name tattooed when I was a kid, because /I single quote LL. A paragraph of text on the rib cage. Finger tattoos. Anything to do with inspirational quotes. It's bad enough on Instagram, you don't need it plastered to your freaking back brain. I'm not a fan of swastika tattoos personally. Goddamn wolf tattoos. Shiais can't get more basic. A guy came into my bar and was chatting to some girl about his tattoos and how they all meant something really important and signified a part of his life. Apparently the tattoo of New York skyline that said New York above was about the time he went to New York. It was so deep I wept. My friend got the KCF Colonel tattooed on his arse with the phrase finger licking good after a bet, and said it was literally the worst decision of his life. I still cringe at the idea of having to explain that Shiais to a partner. It obviously meant KFC Colonel, but out of the sheer shame of my spelling I'll leave it up as a cautionary tale. Freaking stupid molecules, many times also wrong structure. All the goddamn serotonin, dopamine, caffeine and oxytocin, as a chemist they trigger me so much. I don't hate all molecules tattoo. Some friend of mine is diabetic and he got insulin tattooed. It's fine because it means something to him, keeps him alive. But really you had to tattoo caffeine on your arm with wrong bonds and atoms to signal you like coffee? I'd respect more a heroin tattoo, at least that's bold. Honestly none of them unless if I was at church as a kid and this woman there had a Magi script on her outer forearm that read /cocaine/ in all caps. I had a friend who had an arrow pointing down to his junk with the label B. A guy in my hometown got Chinese symbols on his arm. It turns out it was the following ones translated. B. I like video games, but if why I cringe when I see a tattoo based on a video game. Patriotic tattoos. To list just a few. Tribal tattoos, Chinese or Japanese writing when it's not your native language that you think says something /deep/. Cliche images like a bird flying out of a cage, words spelled across your hands with one letter per finger between the knuckles, like /love/ and /hate/. Barbed wire around your arm or wrist, anything pointing to, or referencing, your genitalia, inspirational /self-help mottos like /never. When /bros get a tattoo as a prank and it's something really stupid that only the group of friends thinks is funny. It's always something dumb like Calvin being on a sports logo that they dislike, or a leprechaun humping a Care Bear. No one else thinks it's funny, you just look really sad for being so desperate for attention from friends you'd get something like that permanently in your body. None, all of them, but I would never say it out loud. The cringiest thing is judging other people for their tattoos though. I don't cringe at people's tattoos. The ones on the skin. I have a freaking fairy tale logo on my hand so I can't judge. Face tattoos, all of them. Have never seen a tattoo and thought it an improvement over the base model. Tattoos that are way outside the artist's skill level or that are done based on price and not on the art. A good artist will be able to do a really great piece, but a lesser artist will not yield the results you want typically. A good artist will also charge more based on their skill level. I've had way too many conversations with people who say /I. Their invisible tattoo is cringe tbh. Lipstick kiss marks all over a man's body. So cringe. Spelled words, fake kanji, racist she eyes, portraits of children even if done well. Edit to clarify children, I was thinking of people who have pictures of children who are and when sos get each other's names tattooed on them, especially before they're married or even engaged. Like I'm sorry, but you have no idea how long this relationship is going to last, what could happen in the future, or in some cases, what this person is really like. And then when people keep doing that and they have like 5 names on their arms, all cross her out. Makes me cringe so badly. I'm really sorry to those couples who have been going strong their whole lives and happen to have tattooed each other's names on yourselves. Congratulations for not making a decision you ended up regretting. On the boob equals it will not look the same in the future. Video game tattoos. You look like a walking advertisement. Pig tattooed on the top of his head. Looking at you Norm, keep those poutines coming. B%08. And a friend that got Princess Peach being eaten out by Toad and her coming. It made me cringe every time I saw it. Dream catchers, infinity sign, flying birds silhouette. Then this girl I know went ahead and got all of them together haha. I work with decomposing cadavers so I find depictions of children or loved ones meticulously delineated and inscribed into flesh that's imbued with larvae and straits of decay quite repugnant and too poignant. It's like something more primordial or sacred is being profaned. It's irreverent to observe ebullient countenances distorted and consumed, they're rendered from the victim's flesh and this is one last heinous indignity they're subjected to. It's a literal depiction of their memories eroding or receding because I can infer those faces were invoked in their last moments of life. Asian languages on white people. White people who have no connection to Polynesian culture who have tribal tattoos. Edit, words, names of people, alive or dead, Bible verses, tribal anything, band names whether you're in the band or just a fan, baby portraits, American flags, guns, video game characters, skulls or skeletons, pin-up girls, weed leaves, Anything sports related. None, so long as it. Someone got a tattoo of TikTok \in. Can't stand the generic cluster of stars ones. Sorry to anyone who has one, just not my thing. \DGA it in all of its forms. You probably should GD at least one F. The name of my ex-boyfriend above my bag. Standing in line at an amusement park some years ago, a woman who had a flabby belly hanging over her shorts from having children had a tattoo across her stomach in big letters that said \money. If someone paid you $10,000 to get a Trump tattoo, would you do it? As a mariner, nautical tattoos that people did turn. Tribal patterns. Nothing screams \M. On or cartoon characters you toolboxes. Any. Kanji tattoos. Especially when they're wrong. My girlfriend is from Japan, and when she was studying in America we went out to eat and saw a guy with a kanji tattoo. He wanted it to say \depression \, but it was the kanji for \economic. The clash at me. \thin. Bible verses. How did this thread go an hour without someone saying tribal tattoos? Oh cool, which tribe do you belong to? Rip Brian Griffin. Name of significant other. I work with the deceased. I've seen a direct correlation between \only. The feather turning into birds flying away motto. A massive pair of faded angel wings on a dude's back. In between the wings were the burning twin towers. Yes, really. DREAMCADCHers. Not only do they usually look horrible, but it is so disrespectful and downright stupid. Dream catchers capture the bat in the woven web part, so why would you tattoo the bat captured stuff on your body? PPL are so dumb. Just don't tattoo something from a different culture on your body. B. White dudes with tribal tattoos. Web on the elbow is the absolute worst to me. Asterisk takes deep breath asterisk. Dream catchers, semicolons, infinity symbol, skull, barbed wire, Bible quote that you had to Google, anyone's name, Jesus, \only, anything on the face. Random Chinese characters. They never mean B. My Isail has a huge face tattoo of her grandma. People think it's Garth from Wayne's World. It's a really bad tattoo, and she gets so mad when people remark on it. People who tattoo their own name onto themselves, like do they think they'll forget their names? It's kinda old now, but I still see naked people tattoos. Like how pathetically lonely do you have to be to get a fake naked human permanently etched into your skin? But. Old buddy of mine has a \trust. I saw one on a white guy's chest at a water park in Punjabi. My partner is Sikh, and Punjabi is their sacred language. I asked him if he knew Punjabi. The asterisk didn't single quote know what the language was asterisk, and said it meant something in Arabic. So not only was he not able to read his tattoo, it was in a language he didn't know existed, that was sacred to a group of people that he was not a member of. Asian words or phrases on non-Asians, spelled incorrectly. Misspellings. Not a specific asterisk type asterisk, but my Midwestern-raised, Trump-worshipping, trailer park living brother has a tattoo of a Native American dream catcher ... with a rebel flag inside of it. So there's that. The belly button patrol cat. Infinity sign, it's so boring and not unique at all. A swastika. Just open hatred for the world to see. Watercolor tattoos. They look like bruises from a distance. Anything from the neck above. That porn star guy with the letters tattooed all over him. Once met a man with B. I know a guy who got a tattoo of a tattoo artist, the same tattoo artist that did his tattoo. People who get tattoos of Chinese symbols but don't know what it means. As an owner and lover of tattoos, I can honestly say I hate a bad tattoo, as in poor line work, no concept of depth and shading and all that. When I see something that should look like a line turns out looking like something that should have been in Caroline or friend, can we hug a cringe? The chandelier that girls have started getting on their chest just below the boobs, I really dumb. The German /way / tribal tattoos on people who are definitely not part of an tribe. The new undertitty tramp stamp trend, I hate it with a passion. Just like to say first page was something but rank 1 on the first page. I love you all. Face tattoos. Go ahead and tattoo yourself to oblivion under your shirt or your pants, but face tattoos send an unwanted message. Unless you're a rich rapper or security at a biker bar, it's going to be tough to earn a living. neck tattoos of any kind. Tribal. Makes you look like a Fast and Furious extra. I try not to be judgmental of what tattoos people have, but there's a guy who comes into my work who has nothing but brand logos of redneck things, shady logo, Browning logo, etc. Also worth noting is none of these tattoos look good. /live. The treble clef bash clef heart. As a musician I have seen so many bad music tattoos, like, maybe get something more creative. No regards. Live laugh love pp. I speak Japanese, so Japanese/Chinese characters in computer fonts. Imagine having water written in Calibre 45 on your arm. Same thing. Most of the time their tattoos also don't make any sense. Once I saw a dude who told me proudly there was written /protection/ on his neck in Japanese. I looked at it, and I read /legal. Tribal. Something historic that was inappropriately popularized in modern culture by meatheads. Tattoos that reference pop culture / memes that will be forgotten in a few years gonna make me sad. A thing on the face. I have tats and have no problem with anyone that has them, but when I see a face tat left parenthesis or multiple I just gone. None. Other people's tattoos aren't about you, so your opinion on them doesn't matter. Religious imagery. The Bible specifically says don't get tattoos. Babies that pashed and their face image. Guys that get those barbed wire or pattern tattoos around their arm because they think it makes them look tough. Crosses. Not a what but a where. Thigh tattoos. They're so awkwardly placed. And thighs do not age well. The all black bands or all black fill one. It's so bad, you just look dusty afterwards. My friend has his naked one tattooed on him. It makes me uncomfortable #. I once met a guy whose calf was Judge Judy. It was well done I guess. He just really liked Judge Judy. A thing that has to do with Nazis, fascist white supremacists, turns my stomach that anybody could be so stupid. Infinity signs. Stolen tattoos. Drawing is a hobby of mine and I've designed 5 or 6 tattoos for friends over the years. The most beautiful one I ever drew was an intricate tree that represented my friend's life. It had leaves missing for family she had lost, and some imagery to represent her struggles against suicide and depression. Literally everything on this tree had a meaning and was unique to her. My friend decided to send the tattoo design to her aunt before she got it. The aunt loved it and shared it on Facebook for some reason, saying this was the tattoo my friend was about to get. Well, one of her aunt's Facebook friends decided they had to have it and got it inked across their back not even 2 days later. They knew it was unique to my friend but they didn't care. This was about 3 years ago. My friend ended up getting a totally different design after all of the drama. A bit of karmic retribution though. The woman who stole the design constantly gets asked the meaning behind it. She ended up covering up the semicolons in the piece, added leaves back and covered the words in the design to get people to stop asking. They still ask and she still doesn't know. Why anyone would steal a tattoo created to represent another person's life is beyond me. But now it just looks like a random tree with a bunch of blacked out spots, which is pretty bad in its own right. A guy at work has his own name tattooed on his forearm in bold capital letters, B. Swastikas. Every time. Anything where the belly button is used as a button. Face tattoos and tattoos of faces, they rarely turn out very good. A Bible verse or any verse that is way too long to be a tattoo. Maybe 1 or 2 lines, but a paragraph is a bit much. /refuse. Anything on the neck or face. I'm pretty sure this is only a UK, only England probably, thing, so sorry to those who don't get it. I hate those patriotic tattoos typically of the English flag, often with reference to the Second World War. It's not so much the tattoo that's bad, as much as I personally dislike it, it's the people that have them. They tend to be extremely racist and against any foreign people coming into the country. Often I find it to be a I'm racist symbol, especially in my area. There's probably exceptions, I just haven't seen any, probably has something to do with the political leanings in my area law. Most tattoos are pretty awful, but the ones depicting ideological symbols, hammer and sickle, swastikas etc., probably take the cake. Close second with people tattooing Latin or Chinese phrases onto themselves without double checking the meaning. Bible quotes. Those lines guys get on their biceps. Goddamn horoscopes, I mean no one cares Virgo.